Good afternoon, everyone, and look what we got going on with Bitcoin here, back up to $66,060.66. We have some sort of recovery going on here, but we do have to retest $70,000 before we uptrend higher. So if we can break through 70,000 and hold that, then I believe we'll be on and up. If you haven't had any buys yet, I would say that you should have bought in the last couple of days when it was down, because this may just recover back. And if it doesn't, then we still have room to go lower. And I'll go ahead and show you what I have drawn up. Did a little technical analysis. I'm not 100% the best at that, but I'm not bad. All right, let's get on moving to Fear and Greed Index. What we got going on with that? Let's see. We're still pretty greedy right now. It's loaded, yeah, 74. And if you want to take a look at what we had go on, part of the reason the dip happened here, we had massive shakeout on open interest. Went from like $234 billion down to like 160 or 180 billion. So we're still not in a good level as far as interest goes. I mean, I really want to be down here before I would say it's good, but I mean, who knows what's going to happen with this market the way it's going now. It could go up, it could go down. It's holding pretty good now, but it was holding pretty good the other day before it broke back down to 62,000 and then 59,000. And now we're back up to 66, which is kind of crazy. It happened that quick in the last couple hours. And if you look, even here, we got alts coming back up, and this is going to be, we might have ourselves an explosion here by the looks of things. If this keeps going, where are we at now? Look, boom, it just went up another 500 bucks almost since I started the video. Isn't that wild? All right, let's look at something with Bitcoin real quick that I put up on TradingView. Let's take a look. Boom. All right, let's take a look what we got going on here. So what I did is I made a Fibonacci retracement, and it went from the high to the low. And you want to trace candles when you do Fibonacci retracements. You don't want to do bodies. So what I did was I did the high to the low. The low was here, bang, 0. And oh, look at that. I guess I should have went a little. Oh, there's my 0. I'm sorry, I did hit 0 properly. Boom, 0. And then it's going up. Here's the trend line that I want it to break. Now, if it holds this trend line, that's really great. But really, what we want to do is we'll be getting this zone here called the golden zone. And if we remain in this area, we break this green line, we hold this, 67,000 to hold would be amazing. But we have to break through here. We need the 70,000. We need to push through and come up to here. But this is a really good sign in the last few hours. We posted, let's see, 1, 2, 3. We're on our 4th. We're only 13 minutes into the hour, and we got another big ass green candle shooting up here. So we'll see what happens. I mean, if this keeps up, that'd be amazing. I would love to break this trend and go up. And it goes to show that you should have bought the dip. I told you to buy the dip. It's one of them things. It's a double-edged sword. Yeah, it could go down, but most likely, if you believe where Bitcoin's going to go, this is nothing. We're still in the halfway point, in my opinion, of where Bitcoin's going to go. Like I said, my prediction is 100 to 150. Somewhere in there. If it goes to 200, great. But at this point, I'm saying 100 to $150,000. They tried to trick everybody last time, saying $100,000, and everything broke down at 69,000, and they just took a dump. So we're gonna hold out until it feels good, not till it's too good to be true and we lose everything. All right. So today's video is DePin. I told you I was gonna make a DePin video, and if you're not familiar, DePin is decentralized physical infrastructure networks. So essentially what that means is that it's, again, something that can be used in real world use cases. Like for one, I'm going to cover today's Hive Mapper. I covered that before just because it was a good token, and if you would have bought that in the dip, I'm going to show you, you would have been making out right now. But there's Hive Mapper, GeoNet. We're going to get right into those, and these are really amazing projects that are going to serve huge purposes in the future. And one of them is Render. I named that one already. That one, they're at a conference with NVIDIA today. At 6 o'clock tonight, they have their keynote at the conference. So, if you want to watch that, I'll have the link in the video. I have to authorize my account for verification to start posting links and stuff like that in the description. So once I do that, I'll be able to start posting links. But for tonight, you're gonna have to type in the address or whatever is in the link here that I have pulled up. So for the first DePin project that I'm going to get into, I kind of wish I had bought into this one. It is pricey to buy into some of these projects. Some of these are node projects where you buy their equipment and you just hook it up at your house and it just kind of does its thing and you make money doing it. Some of these projects are really great. Some of them aren't. I'm involved in one right now that is a nightmare of a project. I'll go over that, and I'm gonna pretty much make a what not to do, what not projects to buy, because this is the one that I bought into is just a piece of cow turds, man. Honestly. Anyway, this one, GeoDNet. This is a decentralized GPS network, essentially. So what you do with this is you buy their device and then you hook it up at your house as a satellite miner, so space weather station. And so this does space weather and GPS, and they're locking the world together with all that readily available data all the time. It's real-time data. It's not like, I'm going to go to NASA and you see what they got going on. But anyway, this is just another way. It's decentralized and not like controlled by anybody specifically as far as like government or anything like that. This is like, controlled by the people who created the network, but it's all like all the miners, or essentially in this case, these are like weather stations. They're posted up all over the world. They get rewarded for having their weather station or having their GPS station or whatever GeoDNet station you want to get, and then you get rewarded in their token. And this one has its utility based on that. It's going to serve a real world purpose. People are going to most likely use this a lot as far as GPS and stuff like that. It's supposed to be more accurate. So just look into that if you're interested. Some of these projects you're not going to be interested. Some you're going to be like, wow, that actually sounds pretty cool. Maybe I'll get into that. Next one, Hive Mapper. It's gone down quite a bit because we had a nasty dip. You know what I mean? Look at this. Now it's down 30% over the last 30 days. This was, I think, like 30 cents at one point, 37 cents. And if it makes that full recovery, look, bang, this went up again. So if it makes a full recovery back to all-time high, which I have no doubts that it will, this would be a good investment just based on the tokenomics itself of the project. They incentivize people to use their camera by recording the road, and they give you their tokens based on how many kilometers you drive and the quality of your pictures. And there's some other metrics in the area that weigh in how much you make. But so far, I've made about 1,000 honey tokens in the last 2 weeks, 2.5 weeks about, and I have a 2,500 token bonus coming because I bought in the month of December, which they had a promotion going on where if you bought it in that month, they would give you the tokens. In that case, it's already paid for itself. And I'm going to wait until it goes up way higher than this to cash out my tokens. But if you go on their website, here's their Explorer. It shows you which countries are the most covered. I mean, clearly right now it's the United States and most of Europe. South America's starting to catch on here. But yeah, we got, stiff competition about where I'm living over in this area. So, but the thing is, like, the more you map, the higher the reward ends up actually getting, because they give you, they incentivize it based on like giving you a double reward or a triple reward in the area, because they know these roads are all fully mapped now, and that's what they want. They don't want you to not map the roads because it's going to make less. So what they did was they made it so, like, as you map the roads, you may see like a lull in your earnings over time until enough of the area is covered. So it's like, I'll just re-explain this. So when you first start recording roads that haven't been mapped yet, you get the most rewards, right? And then every 7 days, the map kind of resets and pays you that newfound reward, but you don't get the 1 kilometer per or 1 token per kilometer of the road driven again. So you just get paid rewards for the pictures at that point. So what happens after that is they give a bonus in the area if the area is concentrated enough. So if we go to regions and just pick one here, see the weight, and then they have a multiplier. Boom. So like because the area is 100% done, they're like, okay, we know there's not a lot of roads that are available to be remapped or mapped all the time, so we're going to give you a 3 times bonus when you keep them mapped for us. I mean, look at this. This is insane. It's pretty much fully covered. There's no bare areas. I mean, that's it right here. Look at that. So yeah, if you if you want to take an interest in this, they do have a special also going on right now. You get a 2,000 honey bonus for their new camera. This one actually works 24/7. Mine only works during light hours, and they define the hours that you can use it. And this one, you can use it any time of day. And with mine, let's pull up all features real quick. With mine, I have to use my cell phone to connect to my cell network to transfer all of the pictures to their network. And when I do that, it uses my cellular data and it's chewing it up. I'm using like 60, 70 gigs a month just on this. So what you can do is you order it right now for $569 with cell data. You don't have to pay for the cell data. It connects to their network, and you use it on Wi-Fi at home. So say you have bad cell data and you haven't finished uploading your pictures, you bring it inside or park close enough to your house or you catch your Wi-Fi, sit in your car until the photos are uploaded to the network and you're good. So it could also give you a flash drive if you want to do something like that. I recommend just if you're going to just use the internal storage and hook it up to your computer or whatever, or use the Wi-Fi settings or cell settings like I do. I mean, it kind of sucks using your cell data, but I mean, it's kind of what it's there for. Who's using all their data mostly, right? So, but yeah, this is one of the projects that I'm actually in right now. So you should take a look at this. It's actually pretty cool. Pays pretty good. Another one is Demo. This one's going up pretty good right now again. This one has a pretty decent all-time high. This is another new project. It's up at 78 cents right now, almost 79 cents. All-time high, almost 79 cents. Almost up to 45 cents here today. This project, pretty much what they do is they collect your car's data, and what they do is they send it to companies that need that data based on driving habits and things like that. How many miles per gallon your car is getting, because it collects the model data, and they use this stuff like if you ever Googled, how many miles per gallon does a Buick LaCrosse get, and it'll pull up, for this engine it gets this many. They give you a standard data, but what they could do with this is over time your engine may not perform as great as it used to, and you're getting a degraded performance or something along those lines where people are just not maintaining their vehicles and it's getting really bad performance. And what this does is it collects all that data, and it's not just mile per gallon data, but just driving data in general. Like if you're mashing your gas, it'll tell you what your engine load is. It'll tell you all that stuff. If you have codes, all that stuff. It's a pretty cool thing, and they pay you every week in their demo token, and it's on a scaled level. It's like the first 2 weeks is level 1, and then you go like 12 more weeks to level 2. After that is level 3. After you do the 12 weeks, and then it's just a cascading scale where you get more tokens based on how long you're in the project. And it just has to be connected to your car once a week, actually. You go and start your car, make sure it's on. And if you have a car that actually has an app system that you can pay through, and you're up to date with it, you can use it for free, and they'll pay you in demo tokens. I mean, you can't really beat that. If you have like a smart car that has, the onboard nav and stuff like that has an app center, pay for your app center, and this will pay for your app center. Pay for it up front, and this will pay you in long time, way more than you pay for your app center for the year. And then you can get this for $99 or this one for $299. The difference is this one runs on a cell network like the new Hive Mapper is going to, or what you can do is get this one, and that one will connect to your app, and then you have to upload that way, or it uses Helium IoT network services. So it's not as profitable as this one, as you see. The reward is 6 times the baseline reward, whereas this is 2. And you can't really complain when you're getting it for free if you connect for free to Demo and they just start giving you tokens because they're collecting your car data. And they're already doing that if you have the infotainment center and all that garbage on your car is they're already collecting that data. So you may as well get paid for it. Next one is SoarChain. It's very new. So if you get on a pre-order, I don't know when the pre-order ends, but they give you a airdrop. So, and just so you know, it's very similar to Demo. It plugs into your OBD2. So what you would have to do if you had both is you get a splitter, you plug both in, or you just plug Demo in once a week and leave this one in all the time, because this one actually is communicating with other SoarChain devices and mobile apps. So it'll tell you like where the closest car is next to you that has one. Where an accident is. If you ever wanted to try to find your friend and you were really terrible at taking directions and you're really close in the city and you have your GPS up and you see them and you're just like, okay, now I have two means of trying to find someone. Anyway, take a look at this one. It serves around this, like I said, the same purpose as Demo, but more detailed. It seems like they're trying to connect and use data for the ecosystem versus selling the data. I guess Demo is really just used. I don't think they're really actually using the data. They're using it to facilitate transactions on their own for their platform. So I could be wrong about that, but anyway, that was all the hands-on DePin, like ones that you could put in your car or like have at your house or something like that. Actually, I'm sorry, I lied. There's one more. There's Fry. We'll go over that after the next couple. So we have Arweave. This was the storage solution that I was telling you about the other day. If you go on their website, it shows Arweave is being used in countless different ways. Take your first steps with the power of permanent data storage by uploading a file. So essentially, you take your information that you don't want on public clouds where it can be ripped off by somebody, and you put it here in a decentralized system in your private vault, right? So that's essentially what you have. It's a private data vault that no one can get into unless they have your passkey, which if you understand how crypto works, getting somebody's 12 or 24 word code or passcode is highly unlikely unless you gave it to them. So, but Arweave is already up another 13% today and is straight killing it even though Bitcoin took a dump. I mean, I tried to tell you about this a couple days ago in one of my videos that Arweave was going to be one of the top players in this particular bull market again, just like they were in the last bull market, but I see them doing way better this time. This one is going to go up way higher. I mean, again, we look, $89.24 is the high. We're not even close to that. You could easily just double your money if you think it's going to go to all-time high. I think it's going to surpass all-time high by a lot. So, that's just my opinion. Again, these are all my opinions. Everything here is my opinion. All right, next one is Akash Network. This is essentially the hub for compute power. So if you need CPU power, GPU power, storage, any of that stuff, you can get it right on here. I mean, look, view GPU availability, boom. So say you're a content creator, you need to render a video really quick, and you can use one of their GPUs on here to do such a thing. Or if you're like making a video game and you don't have enough compute power, you can literally pick any GPU you want from these. Look, the highest end GPUs are on here. I mean, literally. So any GPU you could possibly need to create AI or use for AI or build anything as far as gaming, you can use here. And this, for that reason, in my opinion, will be another top performer in this bull run. I mean, it's already up almost 1,500% over the year. And I mean, look at this. 3 years ago, it was at $8.07. We're at $5 now. We are approaching all-time high, and I think we're going to smash that before we go into what they call price discovery for Bitcoin when it starts to soar after the halving, which is in 30 days to be exact. Today's 320. It's on 420. So anyway, let's move on to Fry. Fry's crypto. So essentially, what Fry does is they've taken. Boom, look how quick that recovered. What they do is they take old devices and make them functional again. So they're like a green company, but they're using functional devices. So like, let's see, they got bandwidth miners, satellite miners, indoor decibel. So essentially bandwidth miners, they have you set up, like I actually have a few right now that I have little computers I could use to set these up with, is they pay you in their token to let people use your excess internet service, right? Satellite miners, let's see, indoor satellite miners, outdoor satellite miners. So it's like, I'm not sure what they're monitoring with this. I'll have to do more research on that. I know about the bandwidth miners because I was actually interested in doing them. Some of these products I'm not 100% familiar with. I mean, the weather miner, you can literally, it's what it says it is. It has like a barometer and checks weather and reports weather data. They're trying to build a network of everything. It's an IoT, so Internet of Things. And then, so if we check the decibel miner, it's a sound monitoring system. So here we go. Look, they literally take these old, beat up Elite Desk HPs, they clean them up, put their software on it, and they send them to you. Or you can do bring your own device right here. Bring your own device, license, boom. You can get one of these. The thing is with that is you get paid half as much. So they're kind of scheming. It's kind of like not a scam, but they're like scheming you to buy their device, because if you don't buy their device, they're going to pay you half as much. Even though I have these literal computers sitting around my house doing nothing, I'm going to make half as much as if I would just buy their computer and use theirs. But whatever, man. It's still paying out, and if you were to buy it, it pays, and it's going to pay for itself in a short amount of time. So camera miners they have, which are, in my opinion, kind of weird because they have indoor and outdoor. I'm not sure what they want to chuck your indoor with, but the outdoor is like wildlife and stuff like that. And then we go back. Air quality miners. I had one on order and I actually canceled it because I don't know. This whole thing for me is not something I'm 100% interested in anymore. Just because I got burned by another node project this year, and I mean this one they're just expanding like crazy. So I really don't see them going as bad. I feel like anyone who gets in now may be a little late, but I could be wrong just because I've been wrong about these things before, and like I said, I picked a bad project to begin with to start node projects. So, and then they have an unreleased miners. Here we go. So the energy monitor, they monitor how much energy you're using throughout your house by plugging into your outlet, and then the indoor radiation miner. So it is literally what it says it is. If you plug this in your house, they pay you in their token to plug that in your house. All right, so that's enough of Fry. Let's move on to Render. I spoke about Render before. Boom, explosion, baby. They have their conference coming up in about an hour and a half. They're going to be keynoting at NVIDIA conference in San Diego, California. Boom, here we go. Go here to see what to expect. RenderNetworkMedium.com. The -era-of-AI, and send it. Check them out. It's on tonight at 6 o'clock. Get your bids in while you can, because this is ready to explode, man. We already 3 days ago hit all-time high, and I try to tell you guys on one of my first videos again. Render was big play. I'm in Render. I've been in Render early since the bear market, and this is going to be one of those tokens that just kind of, for me, it's going to take the cake in my portfolio because I've been in so early. But this, I think, has a long way to go, in my opinion, just because of what they keep doing. And here's their website. It's essentially the same type of deal as Akash, but you would go directly to them and use their website and onboard your GPU for rendering. So Akash would be like using Render as one of their customers to facilitate rendering for another customer. So they're like the middleman. So they go to Render, say, hey man, we need GPU power. See if you could go ahead and take your information, put it in, and say what kind of GPU you have or whatever you have, and you put in your rig, and then you get approved to be on their network, and then they'll go right over to like Akash or whatever, or any company who needs to use Render and use their GPU power. I mean, this is literally has one of the biggest use cases right now. It's going to be AI, GPU rendering. Literally its name, dude. I mean, I don't know how else to explain that at this point. I tried to put you on to this one when it was a little cheaper, and now it's spiking again. You could wait for another dip. I'm not sure if we're going to have another one or not in the next couple weeks, but if this structure fails, if we go back to TradingView, We're in the green zone now, so I mean, I really don't, you know, we stay in this golden zone here. There is no structure to fail if it stays up here. If we stay there, I mean, the structure is if it comes down, we can either bounce off of this wherever it comes down and go back up, or we're gonna fall back down to this line and stay choppy in this zone, or we fall to like 50 something $1,000. 50,000 is my other target I have. It's based on support levels further back. So yeah, I mean, if you just take a look here, it's set up right now like it is going to push back, but 70,000 is the test, man. If we look, it's fighting this right now. It's bouncing off this line. If it can push through this line and stay up in here, we are in the money for the next couple days if it stays there. And it would be very awesome. I mean, the volume's up, RSI is exploding. We are literally, in the recovery phase at the moment, but I can't guarantee it's going to stay there because we are testing 70,000, like I said. All right, next one. This one is new. It's DNet Finance. DNet File Token. So essentially what it is a storage, another storage token. And what they do is they allow you to farm your storage out. And say you gave 30 terabytes of storage to them per year, you would make $2,394. And they have this little disclaimer here. Reward is relevant in case of full filling of the capacity chosen. So, meaning, if you're not using the full amount, they're not paying you that. So, say you end up only fulfilling 15 terabytes. Boom, $1,197. Now, realistically, that's not all that bad. Let's look up what a 15 terabyte hard drive. Let's see. We're going shopping. I mean, look, 14 terabytes, $209. Now, I know it's speculation here, but you spent $209 to make $1,200 almost. I mean, and that's at its current token price, and it's down quite a bit if you take a look. So if it recovers back, then you're talking pretty good money for letting people put stuff on a hard drive that's just sitting in your house. And also, they have a pay to store. So if you want to buy their tokens, see, this is how the utility works for this project. Is they offer really cheap storage, and a lot of people are going to be using this because it's cheap. So a whole year, $65, and then you buy $65 in their token. Boom! Now that goes into a pool where these people are getting paid out for these tokens, and they're getting paid out on the tokens and as a reward for being a data keeper. You can also do staking. So yeah, there's just a lot to do with this project. It's new. I'm going to do a little more research on this. I know I say that a lot because there is a lot of projects. I mean, there is literally thousands of them, and I'm finding new ones all the time. And this is one that I've known about since the bear market, and I should have really bought because it would have made a lot of money. But anyway, we're going to move on. AVAX. This one, I told you guys AVAX was going to explode, and it did. Even when Bitcoin was down, it was going up, man. Look at this. It still performed. So if you didn't buy AVAX, I'm sorry for you. If you did, congratulations. And we will keep an eye out for drops on this because dollar cost averaging into this would be a beautiful thing for anyone who's interested in getting a low price. I wouldn't buy now just because it seems like it's just going to either float here or keep going up. I would wait for a dip. Just as always, you don't want to buy it when it's expensive. You want to buy it when it's on sale, okay? All right, and just so you know, we're getting into the tokens now where I'm just giving you good buying entries or, showing you what has happened with these tokens over the last couple days because we haven't really covered them and I haven't been live. So we're going to go ahead and just go over this. And I wanted to mention AVAX because I wanted to show you how well it performed. I mean, this is, going to be a long-term runner regardless. If you get it now, I'm not advising you get it now because it has already spiked and I'd wait for a dip on it. But if you buy it now, it's still not a terrible buy. You're just not going to maximize your profits on that. Okay. Next one is Beam. I've been in Beam for a while. I rebought this at 3 cents even when it crashed, and I couldn't be more proud of that decision because now we're up, and I have full confidence in this project to just keep exploding throughout the whole bull market. It is one of the best gaming tokens that you can own, and right now it's just going to re-explode in my opinion. I think this is going to go back up to all-time highs while Bitcoin is exploding again. Um, yeah, I mean 44 cent. Oh, sorry, 4.4 cents as an all-time high, and we're not far off from that. And with the movement we're having right now, it could happen quickly. The next one is Immutable X. I mentioned this one before. Told you it's an awesome token. It is now down 11% over the 30 days, 14% over the 7. This went down a lot during the Bitcoin crash. You could have got in at this $2.50 and be, sitting pretty good right now, almost up 50 cents on that if you would have gotten in. So yeah, I mean, this is another good one. I see having a huge upside because they are tied in with Beam and they're tied in with a lot of gaming projects. So this is one that you should really keep an eye on. Again, I think now is a good time to buy this. I would buy it now if if I wasn't in yet, but I have such a good entry point. I'm not looking to buy this right now. All right, look, boom, just went up again. There you go. I mean, that's how fast these things move, guys. It's if you're new to crypto and you're trying to learn, what I'm trying to tell you is that essentially what you look for is when things like this token, it's awesome, it's going to perform well. When it crashes heavy, it's going to recover harder than it crashed. I can promise you that. As long as the market sentiment is that it's going up, we're talking pretty good gains on these types of tokens because they've already crashed down. You know what I mean? This could go lower if the market goes down again. But right now, if you need an entry, take it. I mean, this one's kind of high. Beam, like I said, we're approaching all-time high again, but it's still at a decent price at this stage in the market. Again, we are like 8 months out from the top, in my opinion. In my opinion. Okay. All right, next one. Caspa. Boom, has exploded since I started the channel up. My God, this is insane. The gains that are happening right now because Bitcoin is exploding. What's happening with Bitcoin? Where are we? Almost $68,000. My God. Okay, guys, this is becoming a very exciting show because you see what crypto can do out of nowhere, man. This is like when I was setting up the stream and getting my new audio set up, Bitcoin was not flying, man. It was just chilling. It's just been chilling all day, like 63K, man, and 64K. Now it's exploding back to the upside. Like I told you, though, we are testing 70K. Don't get too excited yet. This could be kind of a trap. We get hit 70K and then take a major dump down to 50K. I don't think that's going to happen. I think we'll bounce back down to like 60K if we have a bounce back down. But if we continue up, man, this is going to be wild because I mean, I can't even explain how much money is probably flowing in right now. But BlackRock and I forget what the other company was, but they sold like I think it was like $2.3 billion worth of Bitcoin yesterday, which is why we had that heavy leg down. So I mean, realistically, they could have just rebought this morning or this afternoon, and now we're having a recovery. Who knows? Next one is Alephium. This is a really awesome project based on proof of work. So use graphics cards for this particular project to keep the network up for them. As far as functionality of the network, I need to get more familiar with because it is new to me. But I've been watching this token because of its performance. And realistically, you should never buy into a token based just on performance because for me, if it doesn't make sense, it's not going to make you money. I mean, that's what I've always said. If it doesn't make sense, it's not going to make you money. Don't buy stupid stuff. But I think this one, I've heard a bunch of people on YouTube talk about this that actually mine it. So it must be something decent. I mean, we could just take a look. Let's see. What is Alephium? Boom. Let's see. Layer 1 blockchain scaling and enhancing proof of work and UTXO concept. So essentially, it looks like, let's see. Oh, yeah, so this is going to work on Ethereum's blockchain. And that's good because Ethereum just had the, oh man, I'm drawing a blank on the update. Oh man. Anyway, I'll remember it later and then I'll post it or something. I don't know. It doesn't matter. They just had an update that made their transaction fees extremely cheap. So you may actually see Ethereum make a huge run again because people were kind of like saying it wasn't going to happen because of their high fees, and I was agreeing with that because it's expensive to do any transactions on Ethereum. But if there's scalable solutions that are going to make it cheaper, then this particular token is going to explode just because of something like that. All right. So the next couple are on Solana, and I bought and sold these like a dummy. I had these like dirt cheap, man, dirt cheap. Such an idiot. Like back here, man, it was $1. Look at this craziness. Anyway, actually, I think it was shit. It was back here, man. Yeah, it was in December. I can go check my Phantom wallet, but yeah, man. So what this is, Radium is like a swap solution under a DEX. So this is always going to be raging high during a raging bull market because anytime there's transactions happening on Radium tokens are used, and the more Radium tokens that are used, the higher the price is going to go because of scarcity. That's generally how all of these tokens work as far as scarcity goes. And the value of them is if you can't get them, they're going to be more expensive. All right, so next one, Jupiter. Whew, man, this is another one that went insane. I did not own this one, but look at this. In February alone, had you just bought some in February at 48 cents, look where you are now, man. Just sitting pretty. Let's see, I may have recovered by now. Oh, look. Oh, my goodness. Let's see. Did Radium go back down? Yeah, oh, that recovered too, man. This is out of control, guys. This is just ridiculous. My last token, there's a lot of people that kind of shit on this token. I was a big investor in this token. I still hold a lot of it. I still see it as going up, to around $5 in this bull market. So even at this price, it's still a pretty good buy. I know guys that got in this at 30 cents. They're extremely happy. They sold a whole bunch last bull market, and I held it. I was like, what are you guys, crazy? Don't sell that. It's going to go to $11. Everybody's saying it's going to $11. This is why you can't listen to shilling YouTubers who try to tell you, oh, don't sell this, it's going to go higher. Because those are the type of people that are going to make you hold it way too long. If you're in the profits and you want to take profits because you're up so high, take your profits, man. I know I said the other day that's not really my style, but in the case where you're up so much where it makes sense to take it, take half and leave the rest. At least you have your money back. You don't want to leave your money floating and try to catch the top on the way down or the way up, because it's the same thing as catching the bottom. Like I said with Bitcoin, where we are right now, if you would have listened to me at the beginning of the video, we were at 66,000. Now we're at $67,500. So you'd literally be up $1,000 or $1,200. I think we're just over 66. So I remember we're at $66,066 or $66,060.66. That's what we were at. And now we're at $67,493. So you guys have to understand things like this turn around this quickly, and now you're in the money all of a sudden, and it could just crash again, and all those gains that you had could just disappear. And it may very well happen at 70,000. I'm looking for a possible move to the downside, but I'm hoping it breaks through. I mean, again, let's take a look at the trading view one more time before we get out of here. Because the RSI is going insane still. So, boom. It's about to explode. Once you get past the 70 mark, it's kind of like what they call like overbought. But then we got the moving average with it. So this is the RSI moving average. Once these start to move together like this, you see how they're moving up. They're coinciding. Now this is kind of lagging back. So we have all this to catch up. So we could very well break all the way up and stay in the golden zone, man. Or we could get rejected at 70K, and we might just stay in here. We stay right in the zone between the 5 and the 781. There's really like the 618 is what this would be, and I just adjusted it for percentages. But we're going to stay right in here, man. If we stay in here, this is a happy zone for us because what happens is we have a mini recovery, stay at around $70,000, and altcoins will pump. And I mean, if that's what you're in, if you're in a bunch of altcoins, you're going to be having a nice fat bag of cash by the time you're done. Just don't forget to sell, man. Don't forget to sell and take your profits. You know, once we get really deep in this bull market, don't be one of them guys who are like, I'm gonna hold it until this dollar. You know, don't look for dollars, man. Look for signs in the market. Once you see, I showed you this before when we were here with coin market cap. And we look at the fear and greed index. Let me just reload this to make sure that I mean, that's probably going up again. It's going to go up right now because, look at the price. I mean, the price of Bitcoin is going up, which means money's flowing in. People are getting more greedy. They're foaming at the mouth for this, and you need to watch out for that. So, you know, once we get into this area again in the 90s and 80s, man, that's when stuff gets crazy hot, and you're going to have to worry about people taking a dump on you that have a whole bunch of Bitcoin that are going to dump it. So I know I talk about Bitcoin a lot, but that's because if Bitcoin goes down, everything goes down. There's very few tokens that will stay up while Bitcoin is down. I mean, Solana did it, but that's because you know, Solana was pumping like crazy, and you know, people just weren't backing out at that point for Solana. But or maybe they were selling their Bitcoin and dumping it into Solana. I don't know. But now Bitcoin's on its way back up. Solana is on its way back up, and I'm going to do a show just on Solana and their tokens, just because their ecosystem. So just to end the video with a tidbit of tip is that, you know, when you're looking into a project, look at what's under them too, because generally the projects that are under the layer 1 or layer 2 solution itself, those usually pump way harder because their market caps are way lower and they have utility under that project. So if the project is good and the tokens that are under it serve a purpose under the project, they're going to pump like crazy. So just keep a lookout for that. Oh man. All right, guys, I'm going to get going. Have a good one later.